Hey everybody, it's Tara Bryan, and you are listening to the Course Building Secrets podcast. Whether you're a coach or a CEO, the success of your team and clients is based on your ability to deliver a consistent experience and guide them on the fastest path to results. This podcast will give you practical, real-life tips that you can use today to build your online experiences that get results and create raving fans. Why? So you can monetize your expertise and serve more people without adding more time or team to your business. If you're looking to uncover your $1 million framework, package it, and use it to scale, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of the Course Building Secrets podcast. I am so happy to talk to you today. Hey, I am recording from my beautiful sun porch, which now it looks like a winter porch. But today, what I wanted to talk about is boundaries. Now, I've talked about this in a past episode, but you know what? It's something that always comes up, and it particularly comes up right around this time of the year, right? Everybody's trying to get everything done for the holidays, for the end of the year, meet all of your goals that you've set, meet all of the goals that everybody has set. And so what tends to happen now is that moment of, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get it all done. And how in the heck am I going to go and enjoy the holidays? My team member and I always are joking about how we have to hurry up and get all stressed out in order to take a vacation or to take some time off, and how kind of crazy that is, right? So today I want to talk about boundaries, because here's the thing. This is what I've realized in my 20 plus years of running an agency, owning a business, and working with lots and lots of different clients all over, is that you have to be the one to set your boundaries. You have to be the one to say yes, or sometimes say no. And there's a way to say no in a way that still is a win-win for everyone. So I want to talk a little bit about that today, because I think that so often it's sort of a do or die situation, right? You feel like you always have to be available. You always have to be working. You always have to be on call. And if you're not actually helping your clients. And one of the things that I would argue is that you're not actually helping your clients if you're not taking a break, if you're not refilling your bucket and setting appropriate boundaries. Because what happens is that you start to get resentful, you start to get stressed out, and so then you can't show up as your best self anyway, right? And so there are times when you need to take that break and set those boundaries. Now, I will say that, you don't want to leave somebody in a bad situation or in a lurch. And so one of the things that we practice is proactive project management. And what that means is that we communicate ahead of time. We anticipate ahead of time. So we look at a project and say it's going to be 12 weeks or something like that. Then we look across all of those 12 weeks and we anticipate any hurdles, any obstacles, any time off, any big things that are going to happen during that time. And then we come up with a plan for those ahead of time. So what happens is, so say, for example, you want to shut down your business for 2 weeks over the holidays and be able to just relax, not do client-facing work, and just really take that needed break because you've been working really hard all year. If you've set that expectation from the beginning with your customers, with your clients, with your employees, with yourself, and with your family, then all you're doing is driving towards that outcome, right? All you're doing is saying, yep, here we are. We're still on track. Here's where, we know that we're going to take those 2 weeks off. So either we need to front load what we're doing, or we need to add 2 weeks at the end of the project. And the reality is like everything is going to be okay, right? If you don't do something for 2 weeks, now, of course, there's always exceptions to this, but in general, if you take 2 weeks off, and it's planned for, then most of the time the things that need to get done are things that can get done later, right? Or can get done ahead of time. But if you plan for it, if you communicate, and if you're very clear, then people tend to respect your boundaries. Now, that's communicating your boundaries. That's telling people when you're available and when you're not available. But But the bottom line is that you have to take personal responsibility for your boundaries and stick to them, because if you think about it, and like a lot of times people aren't thinking, right? They're not thinking, oh, well, this is encroaching on somebody's personal time or whatever, right? They're just not thinking because it's about their agenda and what they're trying to do. And if you say yes every time they ask for something, then it goes against what you've planned or how you've laid out expectations, then it becomes your fault for not actually following through on the expectations or the rules that you've set, right? And so then people get confused and they don't know what the boundaries are, because what you've said and what you're doing are two different things. And so when you set the boundaries, you have to say, okay, yep, this is happening, right? And so one of the things that we were talking about the other day is sometimes we work off hours, right? So on a weekend or at night or something else, like maybe we have something going on during the day, we kind of dial in at night or on a weekend day if, we need to get something done. But that doesn't mean we're client facing at that time, right? It just means like we're checking in, we're doing whatever we need to do. Maybe we have some quiet time and we want to work on something. But if you send a communication to your clients at that time, that's an off hour, that's different than the boundary that you've set, then what you've done is you've opened it up to say, oh, they're working. Hang on, I'm just going to send them a quick message, or I'm going to just send them a quick thing. And again, then you get upset because they're not following your rules, your boundaries, but they're confused because you're working and they're just, why don't we just quick check in? And so that's why it's super important, even if you're working. And so one of the things we do is schedule when emails are going out, right? So if you're working off hours, schedule your emails for the next day during business hours. And so you can send it and schedule it so it's done, it's off your plate, but the person isn't going to see it until business hours the next day. Those little tips or hacks for how to, set your boundaries and be consistent so your clients understand and follow how you want to work. Because most of the time, people, aren't trying to, take up all your time and do those different things. They just don't know any better, because in some cases, when they've been working with someone else, it's been a little bit different, and they just don't know, right? So you're responsible for setting the boundaries. You're responsible for keeping the boundaries or adjusting the boundaries if you want to, and being consistent. So there you go. That is my course building tip for today.
Hey everybody, are you a business owner ready to streamline and scale your business? Imagine solving the biggest business challenges with clarity, a strategy, and a clear plan. Hey, I'm Bryan, and I want to invite you to take the first step towards transforming your business with a free 30-minute discovery call. This call is an opportunity to discuss your goals, identify key challenges, and learn how my mentorship program can help you achieve the success you're aiming for. In just a half hour, we'll explore how you can scale your business by enhancing your authority strategy, engagement strategy, and retention strategy. You'll get personalized advice and a clear path forward. Ready to take the first step? Click on the link below that's in the show notes to book your free discovery call now. I hope to talk to you soon.